Hello, welcome to your first day of anatomy class. Today we're going to be talking about the process of swallowing, the different stages that are part of that process, and the different structures within the body that help to facilitate that process. What we are looking at is a visual of our oral cavity, oral meaning the mouth. We have a few structures already labeled that we can see. We have our lips, our teeth, our tongue, our larynx, our pharynx, and our epiglottis. So the first stage that we will be talking about in the process of swallowing is going to be the first stage that happens, the oral stage. So the oral stage is basically the process of chewing. It's the part where we're breaking the food down with our teeth. We're using our tongue to move the teeth, to move the food in between the teeth, back and forth, specifically the back molars. This process, along with the addition of saliva, creates what we could call the bolus. This is the bolus formation. The bolus is basically that round thing that is created after you use your teeth and your tongue and saliva to chew your food. So once the bolus is formed and ready to be swallowed, we move into our second stage, the pharyngeal stage. This is when the bolus moves from the oral cavity down to the pharyngeal area. This stage utilizes the laryngeal muscles. These are the muscles of the larynx, the pharyngeal muscles, the tongue muscles, and the soft palate muscles to move the bolus back from the oral cavity to the pharynx. And our last stage is our esophageal stage. This is when our bolus goes from the pharyngeal stage to our upper esophageal region. So the top of our esophagus, which would be around here. And during this stage, the bolus goes from the upper esophageal region down to the stomach to eventually be digested. Up next, we have three glands that we're going to talk about. Our first gland is called the sublingual gland, and it would be located right around here. This gland is responsible for our saliva. As we already know, saliva is super important to our swallowing process, and so that sublingual gland is a super important structure. We also have a submandibular gland, which would be located right up in here. This also helps produce a type of saliva and aids in digestion. And lastly, we have a parotid gland, which would be located around here. That's helpful for producing saliva that helps in oral health. I hope you enjoyed your first anatomy class. Thanks for watching.